Hello,
No,
everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of When Nerds Do Fitness with myself, Matt Smart Fitness, and my co-host. What do you actually want to be known by? Because on here, according to Zoom, you are Mechanics drinking from a what? A
it's a
unicorn
unicorn.
mug.
Yeah, man.
Oh my
It's cute, isn't it?
goodness. What am I drinking from?
I've got a speech box in the way. Let me see. One sec. Let me close the box. Oh, Harry Potter. I probably could
Yeah,
have guessed
bro.
that.
Which are you? Which are you? Do you know?
Robin told me I was a Slytherin, apparently.
If I'm totally honest with you, you from the external, you
Yeah.
definitely, most definitely look like you're a Slytherin.
See, I don't know enough. Don't get me wrong. I've watched Harry Potter, read them as a
Yeah,
kid.
you know it, brother.
She's quite a big fan. We talked about when Hogwarts Legacy came out, innit? We
Mm,
pre-ordered it. I couldn't get into it because I don't know why, but she
yeah.
spent many hours and telling me I was a Slytherin. She was a Ravenclaw. I don't fucking know.
No,
Can't
that's
remember.
mint. That's mint. I think it's quite funny to be fair. I think I'm a Hufflepuff. You're funny, innit? Yeah. Shit. Um, how are you, mate? Update. How has your week been?
It's been all right. It's been all right. Thank you. It's
Yeah.
been efficient. It's been busy-ish. Don't like saying busy though, because that's always kind of got negative connotations on it. It's been yeah, there's been a lot on. There's been a lot on, and I'm a little bit tired today. I overslept by an hour because I slept through my alarm, and I'm just a bit. Ugh. Obviously, I got on holiday next week, so it's going to be good. I think
Wait,
I'm just
where you
waiting for
going?
the trip. We're going to Greece, Zante.
Oh, nice.
Lovely.
Oh, mint. Do you tan
And
well? Do you tan well? You don't look like you would tan
all
well.
right, yeah, all right, yeah.
Do
A
you?
Tampa, yeah, yeah, yeah,
You look pale
yeah.
as fuck. You look like Azog.
Fucking me, nasty man. No, I'm less pale in person.
Look at my
Um,
complexion in this light. Look at, and I've not done anything to the camera.
oh, sorry, blessed Matthew. Fucking
No, I think it's because I've fucked around with this ring light, to be fair, if
no,
I'm
but you,
honest.
you do have a bit of a kind of dark side. I go quite olivey quite quickly
Do you
in the street.
really? You don't look, yeah, you look, actually, no, you don't look as if you could have ginger hair complexion, if you know what I mean.
I would slap you through the screen. It was,
Like a
yeah,
James Holling said, he's pale, pale, pale. You're not
yeah,
that. You're
yeah.
not that.
That's like Liam, my old training partner. He's like that, and Robin's pale. So everyone says to me that I'm not that pale, but I am.
Mate.
I just wrap myself a ghost, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, I suppose.
yeah.
Um,
Are you okay?
I'm all right, mate.
Good,
I'm all right.
good.
Bilbo's like coming out of the dog end way of an illness now. He's recovering. I basically took him into a field, which I was told profusely by many people to go and take him in, this big dog walking adventure place. So I take him there and he whips around through this grass. And I meet up with a friend and he says, "Have you seen Bilbo's eye? It has got a bit weird, isn't it?" And I thought it was because of the dog food I was feeding him, because I was putting him back on biscuits, like adding
Mm,
to his raws to almost just bulk him out of it to add some extra
yeah.
food. But his eye was going a bit manky at that point. But running through this hay, mate, honestly, his left eye turned the rear license plate on a car, the yellow, that
Mm.
color. Not that
Ooh.
color, not that color,
Uh,
that color,
deep.
like a luminous, like disgusting, like alien eye yellow. Like you ever watch District 9?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, bro. You know
Turn
exactly
into
what
a
I mean
prawn.
now. Yeah, when
Yeah,
he turns
fuck.
into a prawn, his eye turned into prawn's eye. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to pull this poor kid's eye out. And so I piritoned it to sort his front face, front side out, his front end.
Yeah.
And then too much Piriton ruins their back end.
Yeah.
So now I was trying to fucking fix that. So fuck me, man. He's all right now though.
Good. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
mate. Yeah, yeah. But
Bless him.
yeah, I think we were hitting a topic on the last episode and
Mm.
we just touched it, but for some reason I think I hit a curve ball and we started talking about something else, or we just ran on another tangent. But the reason behind, did we get to your, why don't you start your, I'll just jump right onto it in terms of your back surgery. You've had recent back surgery. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to
Yeah.
explain? Do you want to explain why the fuck you had that done, just from the very start of why would you
From
have back? Why would you have back
yeah,
surgery? Go.
yeah, absolutely. You have your drink. I'll start from the beginning. Yeah, from
Go.
the conception of Luke. That's where it all.
Here we go.
Yeah, funnily enough, it does. So I was premature little baby, wasn't I? I was like six and a bit weeks premature, and I was born with a great deal of problems, dysfunctions, issues, underdeveloped bits and bobs, that like led me to being in and out of hospital for 18 years of my life. Every kind of few months, I think it was 2 months initially.
May I stop you there? What has been undeveloped?
Oh, I'm going to get into that now. I'll
Go
get
on.
into that. I'll get into that. So basically, I was born. I mean, I've posted about it, so it's no secret. Your man here was born without a butthole. That was one thing. That's like a side thing. But basically,
I actually didn't know that.
yeah. So there is a post somewhere on Instagram from ages ago where I made a joke about it. If you,
Wow.
yeah. So I
So
basically my
they
bowel,
had to.
they just got like a straw and just went, no, they didn't. They didn't
Oh,
do that.
oh my goodness.
No. So basically, all my like intestines, my bowels and stuff, they weren't developed properly. They weren't sat where they should. They were tangled up. They were fucked up. One of my kidneys was shriveled and twisted. So basically, I was born, and they had to open me up and readjust bits, drag things through. For the first few months, I had like a bag, colostomy bag. So obviously, you shit through your belly, yeah. So all that was, I grew up believing that was the condition, that was the issues at birth. And it was only when I started to get these backaches through training, which I assumed was just poor training, muscle imbalances, tight hips, all that stuff, that I was going through my doctor's notes, because obviously I work as a therapist, and my symptoms were showing one thing, but all the approaches to fix were not fixed. Like they weren't even easing 5% of the pain. So I was going through my medical notes, looking at other things that weren't working properly. I knew that I had my L4 and L5 were fused together just from birth. They were just underdeveloped. So I have a thing called sacral agenesis, which if we bang this on YouTube, we could put what that looks like when it's severe. That's you ever see the Paralympics where you got little frog people? Like that's really insensitive to say it like that. So the people in wheelchairs.
I played Frogger.
So their legs look like frog legs almost, yeah, when they're
Wow.
small, developed. So I have that, but I have a very minor form, clearly. But basically, my sacrum is deformed. My kind of all my lower back essentially is just a bit of a mess. Vertebrae aren't formed properly. We're not sure because there's no scans, and I'm trying to get scans, but I'll probably just pay private to see if all the glute attachments are correct, because my glutes are underdeveloped. So if you ever see my arse out, which hopefully you don't for your sake, I should, because the amount of glutes work I do have beautiful wellness body, but I don't. It's just very nah. Are you just listening, or are you frozen? Because you haven't moved.
I'm listening,
Oh, you
mate.
are, bro. You
This
look
is
frozen.
this is what
That's
someone this is someone that's actually listening looks like.
yeah.
They're intently
Uh,
looking at you, listening.
enough, man.
God, come on. You probably don't have enough people doing that to you. They're probably like this. Ah, right, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
mate. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. What are you talking about? Yeah, yeah, sure. Would you just carry on, please? Because I was enjoying that.
yeah, man. Sorry. So basically, everything from lower back. Well, all my hip is a bit gammy, yeah. And without scans, I don't know the kind of depth. Anyway, so fast forward to 26 years old, or it might have been 25 actually on this side. I was training under Jordan Peters, and he had me doing a lot of heavy lifting. And suddenly, after kind of 6 months or 4 months of progressively pushing weight, I couldn't hip hinge. I couldn't even row off the floor. The pain was kind of building up. So I'd rehab stuff, and it'd go away for a bit, then it'd come back. And then I had a bad flare up at some point in 2022. And then at the end of my prep in 2023, yeah, in 2022, sorry. Then in my prep last year in May, just as I pulled out, basically one of the main factors was every time I walked, my ankle was clicking, and every click that you'd get on every step was sending shooting pain straight up the leg into the hip. So walking was shit. And I was doing like 3 hours of cardio. I couldn't fucking walk. And I couldn't go on the bike because that was uncomfortable on the hip.
Swim.
Well, I could have maybe gone and done 3 hours of swimming, but I pulled out. Obviously, I pulled
Yeah,
out.
fuck that.
I
Yeah,
pulled
no,
out.
thanks.
And there was a point. I had my treadmill in the kitchen, and she was making a brew. It was the morning, and I got my check-in back, and I was doing my cardio, and I was fucking dragging my leg, and I just had a meltdown and punched the screen in on my treadmill, and I was like, it's fucking agony. And again, did loads of stuff, tried to rehab it. It kind of eased off, and then it came back again at the end of last year, just before January. It says like November time, it flared like foot. And basically, in about the space of 2 weeks, I lost the use of my foot, my toes, anything below the knee. I couldn't raise my leg. I couldn't lift my foot. I had foot drop. But it turns out that I'd been having foot drop symptoms.
What's foot drop?
So foot drop's basically where these are your feet, yeah, or drop foot, either way, is when the nerves basically, there's nerve impingement, nerve damage, and the foot just stops responding and it drags a bit. So for about 7 months, I was catching my foot on the floor. And every time I catch it, mate, it'd be something that big. It'd be like a stone. I'd walk the dog and just catch it a little bit. You're laughing, bro. I would scream in pain, mate. It would shoot fire up my leg, into my hip, into my, like fire, bro. It was agony. So
It's not funny at all.
Yeah, you're a horrible man. Very, very, very
God,
rude.
I'm just imagining watching a man have like a slight limped foot and then kick in a little stunt, go, ah. But then every other step is like fucking like all down the street. It'd be just funny to watch, just for one street, and then I'd feel sorry for him.
I'm glad you feel sorry after that streak. But yeah, bro. So it got to the point, and I was in the bath. I was trying to soak everything in the bath, and as it gets a bit cold, so you top up hot water, yeah. And my foot was under the hot tap, and the bad foot's under the hot tap.
This foot, mate. This foot is just getting me now.
So this one's under the hot tap. This one's under the just like sat on the side.
Right.
And the one on the side starts burning, and I'm like, well, why is this one hot and this one's not? Right. And now when I've lost all feeling in it. So I walked with a limp, then I walked with a walking stick, and then they cut me open. Side note, doctors told me it was my disc because they scanned me and there was a bit disc decay. And I was like, mate, it's not disc. You need to scan lower. And they refused to scan lower. And I was like, I'm telling you, have a look at the nerve root, please. Because if it was disc issues, it's fixable. What they were seeing, what the scans were showing with my discs, it was only slight, like it was minor, mate. It was barely bulged. I was like, that amount of pain shouldn't be coming from that. And the fact that nothing I do to realign or rehab is fixing it, it's not. Anyway, so they were like, no, we'll do a micro disc. Get to me. And I said, yes, I'm okay. I don't believe in surgery for stuff like that if you can rehab it. But I wasn't getting better. So it was only when I woke up from the surgery where they were like, yeah, so we didn't do that. It turns out your facet joint, my merged L4, L5 facet joint was overgrown totally. Obviously, bone overgrowth in the spine can occur when there's a bit of an imbalance or whatever, a bit of instability, or it can growth hormone potentially. I've not touched growth hormone since because of it. Basically, it was overgrown. The facet joint bone was overgrown so much that it was severing my nerve root. And the surgeon said he's never seen a nerve root so compressed and so basically damaged without tearing before. And they were like, you're probably going to need foot support for the rest of your life. You're going to need a splint. You've had it too long. The damage is pretty much irreversible.
What's your foot like now?
I use it. I can use it. I can squat. It's like I
can't breathe. You have the limpy thing still. No, you don't have the. Oh, good.
No, yeah, no. Basically,
if I ever met you, I'm going to be watching that foot.
Oh no, so my gait is slightly off still, and I'm trying to fix it because obviously I'm only 7 months post-op.
Yeah,
I'm trying to fix it, but basically the power, the elevation, I can't quite raise it correctly yet, but it's a lot better than it was. I can kick, I can stand on one leg, I can do all that. So that was basically it. It was shit. Recovery was all right. It was painful. I lost all my size and got fat. I drank a lot before it because I took painkillers and they turned you into a zombie and they're highly addictive. So I stopped taking them. So I would drink whiskey to go to sleep sometimes. It wasn't a very fun time. It was pretty depressing because the pain was just permanent nerve pain.
How are you now?
Oh, there's no pain now. I have like a few new because it's still early days. Like there's imbalances and there's bits that I'll rehab really well. Things will fly, and then someone will go, "Hang on a minute, mate. Why are you doing that?" And then like recently, there's a bit of a flare, but it's nothing. I'm pretty sweet now. I
Good,
mean,
mate.
yeah, yeah. So that's the story summed up in about 10 minutes.
Do you reckon that was the reason why you got into training and bodybuilding then? Was
What
that
was that?
what was that? Was that the reason? Because you had a bit of like you had a bit of a flangy foot, so you thought, you know what? If I'm honest,
No, it wasn't
I
flangey.
should,
It wasn't flangey until the issue started.
I
You
should
bitch.
get, I should become like a real massive bodybuilder to so people don't look at my flangy foot.
Yeah, no, no, I don't. You know, no, because I my foot's been fine all my life until the nerve got fucked.
Go
I've
on,
never had an issue walking.
what was the reason then?
For bodybuilding.
Hmm.
Uh, Such a cliche
Do you know I
story.
don't? Do you know I don't share? Sometimes I follow bodybuilding so closely.
Yeah,
Open bodybuilding, like the top,
yeah,
like I'm talking
yeah.
like
The
the
people.
Texas Pro, the Tampa. That's just, but I'm right there. I'm watching them,
Yeah,
but I don't share any of that. I don't know why I don't do that. I think I feel my audience,
yeah. You go on brand, isn't it?
I suppose, but I'm gonna watch it. So I don't know
Yeah.
why I don't show it. I don't know. I should do that more often. Andrew jacked, mate. Fuck me. Wow, what an
Yeah,
absolute statuesque of a man. And he brought up his arms, man.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Big time.
They
And he,
still look like they need to be bigger. Do you know what I
yes,
mean?
because he's
Frame.
got very like
I'm,
gimp-like arms, isn't he?
I can't say that man needs to bring anything up because look at him. But you notice it when he's next to the shorter guys because obviously short levers, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
really
yeah.
is beautiful. I love that style of physique. I do think
Isn't it
it's
fantastic?
aesthetic.
It's because, and a
Yeah,
lot of the time, because you don't see it very often, people blowing out and holding their abs in tight,
yeah,
like actually flexing their abdominals while hitting a front double.
yeah, yeah.
Do you? You see a lot now of sucking in or a full
Yeah,
vacuum.
yeah.
Um,
Him to block them out, and I love it when there's just a bit of the twist up. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
A little bit.
like a flex Roden, mate.
Yeah, man. It's just pretty, isn't it? It's just, yeah.
No,
I
Flex
must admit,
Roden, not Flex Roden, Flexatron Roden. What's his name? Sean Roden. Sorry.
Sean Roden. I know
Yeah,
who you meant
he
straight
wasn't called
away.
Flex, was he?
No, he was just Sean
No,
Roden.
Why was he ever called Flexatron then?
His thing was like Flexitron on Instagram,
Yeah,
luckily.
sorry then. Yeah. Oh,
Cool.
wasn't he, mate? That was a fantastic. That was 2018. That one. He won the
Yeah,
Olympia.
that was a nice year. He was, yeah. Like I was a film.
Tight waist, man. His quad just popped like. Phew.
He was like a blend of the early 2000s and today's standard, or 2018 standard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had that look, guys from the early 2000s. I mean, he was older anyway, wasn't he? But
Do you think
we
he
don't
would?
have anyone.
Do you think he would have a place now between like Haddy and Derek?
He was, he was getting older, wasn't he? And he
Do
was
you reckon
not.
Sean Roden could fit with Samson? Samson's
Actually,
just fucking
I would
so
argue
thick a version of him, though, isn't he?
Sean Roden. Yeah, mate. No, Sean Roden at the 2018 Olympia would beat Samson currently. Yeah,
He would.
yeah. Well,
You're
Samson's
right.
not like look at Samson's place in the Olympias and look at Olympian champions now, and I'd make an argument that peak Sean Roden could beat a few of the most recent Olympians.
I don't know how long you've been following bodybuilding for. I don't know when you first got into it, but it's when you first got into bodybuilding, the chaps that were at the highest of the Olympia then, like
Yeah,
battling out, are the ones that you kind of miss that you're like, oh, I wish I could see them back on stage. The ones that were the
yeah,
high when I got in was Phil and Kai. That was when
yeah,
I got
yeah.
into bodybuilding.
I was when so
Oh,
I,
mate, it
yeah,
was so sick.
yeah,
Kai Green was
yeah,
my,
man.
and probably still is. I don't for some I don't know for whatever reason my favorite bodybuilder. I don't know why, and I know all of his. back street, like trudging down the streets of New York. And he goes into his little apartment. He sticks on all his fryers in his red hoodie, keeps his hood up in the kitchen to sweat more while he's fucking frying his chicken and his fish. I know all of that was fake because he'll go back to a nice swanky hotel. We all
Bro,
know that. He was sponsored by
yeah.
Muscle Meds. He doesn't fucking live in that little squat. However, I was so motivated, man. I was like, he's going to get Tupperware. Yes, bruv. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I was, Kai, I'd been following it. Obviously, their rivalry is quite well. I think the first proper Olympia that I sat and watched and stayed up to watch was still when it was, Phil and Kai and Sean were kind of top three consistently, weren't they? I think Dennis Wolf still on the Olympic.
Oh, he was fantastic, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis Wolf, Phil Heath, Kai Green, Sean Roden.
Rami was in the mix still quite a
Oh,
bit.
he was. He was coming in then. Who else was up there? Who else was up there?
You had
Kuklo, maybe?
Yeah, Kukla would have been there then.
Who else? Who else? Like who else is like
You
right
had
there? I'm just thinking now.
you say Dexter, because Dexter would have been
Oh, Dexter Jack.
there.
Yeah,
You had,
yeah. Branch Warren wouldn't have been up there at that point, would he?
yeah, Branch's retirement was
2018.
no,
Arnold.
no, before 18, well,
It was
before
an
18.
Arnold though, wasn't it?
Branch, yeah, because was Branch at the first Olympia that I watched.
Let's go
Branch
2000.
looked a bit melted.
Let's go 2014, Mr. Olympia.
My Mac, even though it's been on charge, is about to die. Are you right to just Google that while I go get my charger? I do apologize. Not very good podcast etiquette, is it?
Google what?
I'm gonna go grab my charger.
Go on, grab it. Yeah. I'm Googling it now.
Google that.
Phil Heath, Kai Green, Sean Roden, Dennis Wolf. Hello, everybody. I'm not going to leave this dead air. So, what am I going to do for the rest of it? I'm actually going to go and train my arms in a bit. I haven't eaten a speck of food. It's 3:30. It's 3:30. Bilbo's had a massive ping around. I've had to drive to Crediton, which is in Devon, which is about an hour and 45, 2 hours away. Pick up some trim for the outside of the cafe to bring back. So that was a good 4 hours. Come back, record this, eat a meal. I've already taken Bilbo out. He's had a massive ping around with the Frenchie. Then I'll get a meal and then go train arms. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh,
Computers. And before that, what got us into bodybuilding?
Olympias and stuff. Yeah, what got you into bodybuilding?
I was a chubby little fat bitch with no real intention of doing anything other than playing games, watching films, reading comics. Go on. I know.
Victor Martinez, Steve Kuglo, Juan Morel, who does the cookies now. Johnny Jackson. Yeah, Rowley.
Yeah.
William Bonac.
Now we look really bad because all those names were like very blatantly there. And
Yeah, I know.
Go on. Fun. Just a chubby kid that was unhappy with how he looked always, because I've got a lot of scars and stuff on my belly. I've always been very self-conscious about kind of being topless. And then I boxed for many years growing up as like teenage years. And then I saw, what's his name? Lazar Angelov. Do you remember him? The fitness model dude with like this
great beard. Beard.
So I used to see people like him and be like, oh, I want to look like that. I want arms and abs and to get women. And I was like 17, 16. And I was like, I just want to look sick. And then then I saw Joey Swole. And I was like, oh, he's big. I like that look. And then I found like Animal Pack. And I found Frank McGrath was I think the first. I was like, I like this, and the black and white photos, and I was like, oh mate, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then a local bodybuilder at the time who was probably a terrible bodybuilder actually, but he helped me out. He helped me get into it. He was only young, and we used to train together, and he helped me. And then from there, I just figured out and met other cool people. How about you? for bitches, doing it for girls.
No, mate. No, I didn't at all. Well, how did I get into bodybuilding? I got into the gym with a mate. I suppose, yeah, we were bullied big time, me and him. So we just fell into sort of like a leisure centre gym, which was at another town. So we could travel there, train, come home, right? So no one was about. But for the likes of bodybuilding, I started following. Do you remember on YouTube a Chris Jones
Maybe.
or a Physiques of Greatness or a Scott
Cool.
Herman Fitness or
I'm Scott Herman.
Scooby, that old man with the hat on?
Yeah.
Remember
That's
him?
memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So all of these old school bodybuilding sort of YouTube channels, Chris Guzman, or whatever his name
Yeah,
is. But right at the very beginning.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you were down the kind of pretty.
no, I wasn't. I wasn't because he then
You was
turned very pretty. So I'll say right at the very beginning because he
right,
wasn't
well,
very
before,
there
okay,
at that
cool,
point. Yeah.
cool, cool, fair.
And Chris Jones is very hip hop,
Yeah,
black dude, really fucking cool.
I know what you mean.
Got a bulldog called Bruno, I believe. Um,
Uh,
and that's what I got. Hodge twins,
yeah, man, Hodgkins.
the Hodge twins. Oh, big time. Me and my brother used to watch them every day, man. The Hodge
Yeah, that.
twins. I believe they were the two. Yeah. Out of all of them, it'd be Chris Jones, and it would have been the Hodge twins that have got me into bodybuilding.
I liked
Because
you.
yes, sorry, I'll just
No,
jump in. The Hodge twins, they made it. Fuck me. This is what. Yeah, they made it funny, and
yeah, they were
they
like
bodybuilded.
guys. They weren't
Bodybuild.
serious. Yeah, yeah.
No, that's exactly what I do. Maybe I emulated, copy them without even thinking about it because they're a big inspiration when I first started. So I guarantee it. They fucked
Do you
about and
see
did
their stuff
bodybuilding.
now?
Hey.
Do you see their stuff now? Do you know what they're about now?
Yeah, they're very like
They're
political and stuff.
very patriotic dudes now. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't have to, and they went into comedy before that as well, didn't they? And I'm like, oh, God, just stay with the bodybuilding thing, man. It would have been so wicked. But I suppose people evolve and change and move on, don't they?
Yeah, man. Also, they weren't like super young. Like they got to be 40s now, which ain't that
What,
old, I know. But,
dude, with their genetics, they'll be in their 50s, guaranteed.
oh yeah, there we go. There we
You'll
go.
be like,
That's what
what? Yeah,
they got to find a way in it to just evolve and keep relevant, I suppose.
yeah,
Especially because fitness industry, bro, people get turned around well quick. 1 minute someone's like the big name, and then it just layers in it. People come in, people go rapidly now
yeah.
because of the whole attention cycle.
What are the things that you think that stay and will always stay? I'll jump in and I'll say one first. I think what will always have to stay is the amount of actual hard work you've got to do.
Yeah,
That will never go. Like the things that require really fucking hard work
yeah,
inside the gym, being so disciplined with your diet, like the fucking that shit.
yeah.
That
Whenever that's
you cannot actually, unfortunately, because would I love for that not to be there at times, of course, when I'm fucking knackered. But those are the things that you actually cannot replace with like a pill, a drug, a little formula. Unfortunately, you've actually got to always do that bit.
yeah, you'll get people that try and sell that you don't, but they get like
Yeah,
they're the ones who turn around really quickly though. Like we got quite. I don't know about you, obviously, with you being kind of Nuki way, if it's out of the way. But we got a lot around here at the moment with the whole. You don't have to count your food. You don't have to. And this isn't for normal people. This is for bodybuilding. These are guys with not a lot of muscle. But they'll go, you don't need to train like this. You don't need training to failure. You don't need to be counting your food like this. You can eat Ben and Jerry's. And I know there's people that argue for fit macros. I personally hate it. I do. I
yeah,
hate it. For normal people, great. For bodybuilding, fuck off.
yeah,
But um, every time people are selling the easy way, they're never around very long because people go, well, that doesn't work, and you just want me to pay you so for the easy route, and then obviously the route doesn't work. But yeah, no, I think you're right. I think if we're talking about topics that will always stay and people that will always stay, I think it's the people that got around kind of around the 2010s. So like if you look at like Dana Lynn Bailey, she's still super in the game. Same with Ultra Natty Mike O'Hearn. He's still, you know what I mean? He's still, everyone still knows who he is.
Yeah.
I think those personalities are kind of sealed as the
Do
originals.
you remember the video of Rich Piana and him flexing in the mirror in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, Mike O'Hearn looked like an absolute monster.
His physique's fucking wild.
And I miss Rich Piana's 1.5 hour episodes every day. Ben and Jerry's driving home with a cookie. Going eat big to get big, right, babe?
Good right. Fucking morning, god damn it.
Right, babe. Yeah, man.
Right, babe. Mate, fucking Rich. Rich was one of my early favorites, man. I fucking loved Rich.
Yeah, he was great. He was great.
Yeah.
And I suppose dickheads would push their limits and actually listen to what he said. But I never was an idiot or pushed anything stupid because of what he was like, and because he did back the fact of going above and beyond and doing more and more. And I never went more. I just used that as that's a great motivator. I quite like watching this shit.
Yeah,
I think that only takes for someone who's got their head screwed on though.
Yeah, but the whole thing was whatever it takes, right?
Yeah,
literally whatever it takes. I'm like, and I used to when
I was young. What does 5% mean?
I think it's like the 5%, isn't it? It's the 5%. It's the 5% of society that's savage. I mean, I've got the 1% title.
What does that mean?
It's meant to be the 1%. Like work to be the 1%. Be the 1% of the kind of hardest working. Don't stop.
Not the 1% of like the best paedophiles.
You've got to be the best.
The top 1% of the most successful paedophiles.
Fucking hope not. I'm gonna try to
like I don't know what the 1% or the 5% meant. I'm like, well, oh, okay, right.
Yeah, well, like because for me, the 1% used to be shouted at me a lot when I used to train legs with John Bridge in Ironman back when I used to.
You should just whisper 1% in your ear.
Well, we'd be like squatting on there, like on a hack squat, and you'd be
1%.
You'd be going, fucking show me that 1% shit and all that. And I'd be like, yes, but I don't know.
Yes, daddy. Daddy. Oh,
please, yeah, because I'd be fucked. But no, it's that was what 5% was, wasn't it? It was just about like the select few. But whatever it takes, mate. Fuck that now. Like a few years ago, yeah, sweet. I was all in. I was like, I'll do whatever it takes.
I'm okay with that now.
Big muscles are sick, and I'll always
not with the body, mate.
No, that's the thing. Like I'll do whatever it takes with certain stuff and to build stuff, but I don't want to take any bits from my life.
It's good that you've learned young, and it's good that I've learned that young as well. A lot of people continue to push it, don't they?
I mean, my surgery was a big reason as to why I learned that young, I think. I mean, it was already kind of getting in my head anyway, but seeing how restricted my body was during bodybuilding, just in the, you know, my heaviest, I used to be close to 20 stone in my off season. And so it's restrictive, isn't it? Just physically moving about, trying to shag your missus, piss and sweat all over her, out of breath. I can't come because I can't breathe.
Oh, you know this is great. Keep feeding me content.
But isn't it? Like, when you're that heavy and that fat, and you can't see your cock because your belly's there. And I
can't remember if I've ever not been able to see the end of my penis.
You've missed out, right? So my final meal, this was back when I was with SAS, would be 300 grams of fat-free yogurt with 100 grams of oats.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't got the 100 grams of oats, but continue. I might do that tonight. Please go.
100 grams of oats, 30 gram peanut butter, 30 grams sunflower seed butter, 40 gram or 50 gram of protein. What else did it have in it? Someone else in it as well. Forgot. Anyway, it was a big meal, yeah. After your 4 day week.
Badger milk. Have you ever watched? Oh my god, what's that off? Do you know what milk? Do you know what that movie's from? What that's from?
No,
it's got an animal movie in it. It's called Animal or something.
Is it?
It's got the guy from like Ben Stiller movies.
Google it. Yeah, I know what. Yeah.
Please continue. Oh my gosh, go on.
No, so you sit there at night, your belly be pushed out, I'll be eating my bowl, heavy breathing, counting down the breaths till I pass out. Then you go upstairs and it's time to perform. I'm sweating already without even moving because I climbed the stairs. I take off my kit. This is when my legs were like 31 inches fucking round. And I was like, come on then, let's go. And then you fucking put your weight on yourself.
That guy.
Yes. It's been a long, yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Fuck me, honestly, so funny.
But yeah, it's just sweating, isn't it? It's just horrible being that heavy and being that.
I've never had it. I've never had it.
Not,
I must never have pushed that far.
You don't do whatever it takes, Matt.
I'm just not the 1%.
You're not even the 5%. No, so that was fun though. That was a fun off season. But basically, that coupled with just muscles only being designed to lift weights, I was like, this is a bit shit. And then I lost the use of my back and my leg. Got told you might never get that back, and I was like, so I've had a body that I could have done loads with, and there was stuff that I planned to do with it, and now I might not ever do it. And I was like, that's really shit. So hence why now I'm so obsessive about keeping my mobility in my core, doing functional training, doing
you're a big advocate of that, aren't you?
Yeah, massive, because it's just a shame. Literally, I was told and I believed that I would never have the use of my fucking leg again. I was on the verge of being literally paralyzed from the waist down for life. So to be told that I'm never going to run again, and I've spent the last 3 years unable to run, I was like, bro, that's just shit. Like, what am I going to do? So now I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to do whatever I want because I've had it nearly taken away from me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I love bodybuilding, don't get me wrong. I think it's phenomenal, but I think there's a way of doing it and being still quite physically healthy, functional to an extent.
Yeah.
But obviously, you would sacrifice that. But I would like to see more people during their time off cycle or in an off season do a little bit more to make sure that, even if it means lasting 10 more minutes with your missus before you have an aneurysm, you know what I mean? Just like those things.
Yeah, I suppose so.
How many 5-year-olds could you realistically take in a fight? Do you reckon? They're trying to kill you, mate.
How many what?
5-year-olds can you realistically take in a fight? You're not allowed weapons. Maybe a stick.
How many 5-year-olds could I have in a fight? I reckon, realistically, I'm going ape and I'm smacking them and kicking them hard and kicking 20 odd.
Really?
Yeah.
You reckon 25-year-olds will swarm you? You could take them all. Imagine, man. They're like,
you could wait. If you get a good strike, you could knock a good 5 in one go. Sprint away, then you get another 2, grab, smack heads. Yeah, look, see, you do them in pairs, mate. 10 smacks, you're done.
I'm thinking if they've circled you and they charge, that's like Walking Dead toddler shit. They're just going to be grabbing you.
I think I'm confident in saying I can do 20. How many could you do?
See, I was going to say like 10.
No.
Because I'm thinking, like, what if one is climbing up your back, pulling your ear, and you're trying to grab another one, but one's biting your arm? If they take you to the floor, they're like savage little animals. But then if it's a 5-year-old with a 5-year-old's pain tolerance, all you got to do is go away.
This is what I mean.
Or they're on bloodlust, I reckon, less.
Let's talk about World War Z.
Yeah.
Style 5-year-olds.
Yeah. Then 10, mate. If it's World War Z style 5-year-old, they're gonna crawl over you.
You're probably, you've got two max.
Right. If you've got an axe or something, it's all right, isn't it?
If you've got zombie 5-year-olds, but they can run fast, like they're scurrying, like quick rabies driven zombies at 5-year-olds, you've got 2 max. You ain't gonna last very much. And
like you seem like you got kids. What, there's young kids in your family, isn't there?
Yeah. Brother and sister got them.
So, with a kid, typically when they're kind of below 6, if ever you try and grab their arm and they don't want to move somewhere, or you're trying to pull them, they just go limp. You can't move them. They just flop. And then you're like, yeah, my mate's son, he's a little beast. He's only like 3 and he's massive. And he dislocated his own shoulder by doing that. Because his mum was like, come on, we're going this way. And he was like, no, and just dropped and popped his shoulder out. Let's go, A&E.
I'd look at him and go, where, you little shit? See, that's what happens. You little wank stain. Walk with me.
But yeah, Do you reckon you'd die quite quick in a zombie apocalypse? Because everyone always says every guy has a plan, and every guy's like, "Oh, I do this, this, and this."
I think I'd be personally. I think I'd be a good. His name's Nick, isn't it?
Rick from Walking Dead.
Rick, not Nick. Rick.
Oh,
I think I'd be a good Rick.
really?
I think I'd lead quite well, if I'm honest.
Robin and I have had this conversation, and she always says you're too nice, and we'd end up getting fucked over because you try and help someone. But then on the flip side, she'll go, "You're a twat sometimes." Like
Yeah.
Shane in the early seasons, where he's a bit more.
Oh yes.
I don't know where I'd fall between Rick and Shane on that.
Yeah, you are a bit of a mix of the two. You need it. You need you need an engineer. You need a mechanical mind or an engineer mechanical mind on board. You need someone who knows the human body, like a vet maybe, or a doctor or a dentist, maybe not a whatever, anyone that works on the human body.
Perform medical procedures.
Yeah. Even a GP. And then you've got someone who knows basic survival skills, building fires, making things like a builder, someone like that, or a plumber, like a tradesman. So a tradesman, an engineer, a doctor. Would you have someone who knows someone with food? Would you bother with that?
No, because you're a pregnant person. Cover it. Human camel, human cow. If you get someone that's pregnant, you get someone that's pregnant or freshly had a child and just milk them. Then you've got sustenance consistently. You could be locked underground. Just milk the person, man.
What are you talking about? No. I'm talking about going and scavenging for supplies, having a small holding of a few cows and a few sheep.
Bro. Look, obviously, if you can get
you're saying impregnate every woman within your tribe so you can suckle on their teeth.
Well, no, because then we're getting into like a Mad Max thing where you're farming women. I'm not talking about farming people. I'm just saying have one consensual, happy to help member of the party that's maybe pregnant or had a child that is prepared to donate.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Protein, bro. Fats.
I'd rather head to the local town and give it a go. Take a knife with me. Do you think you could survive against a Walking Dead zombie?
Like one, just one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Would you let me finish?
I'm asking you the question.
Wait a minute. Could you defend yourself or kill a World War Z zombie? Oh, mate, they are. I love that movie so damn much because they don't run extra fast, mate. They don't run extra fast, nor do they run or extra abilities or strength. They're just like adrenaline at max. So they're sprinting max. They'll just fall off stuff. They'll all climb over each other to get to something like ants would. They just have no sense of fear. They'll just go for it. That's why they're scary.
Maybe one.
Yeah, maybe one, I reckon.
If you've got like a chair to hit it with or something.
Oh, mate.
But if you're just in an open room and there's nothing to help you out, that'd be quite hard.
Go on, have you got another question? Go for it.
Yeah, totally different topics. Okay, we've got a gym one. Well, it doesn't have to be gym. Well, sure, because you're very positive, but you also point out a lot of your content's positive. But
I think I'm a total liar because I'm very negative sometimes. If I'm honest.
You point out problems. Yeah, you point out if someone's a twat in the gym.
Yeah.
What is your biggest pet peeve, ick thing in the gym today? Like whatever. It can be anything. But what's the one thing
in what like pros, like professionals?
Oh, just in the gym. Like it can be anything. Then, if you want anything,
anything within the world of the
gyms. The gym realm, what really kind of grinds your gears?
I think this is one. I don't know how to word it though. So like someone who portrays that they're working just as they are like a professional bodybuilder and their form looks great, but their physique, it doesn't show anything of the sort. So they act as if they're, oh, look at me.
Perfect.
Follow my training plan because I'm massive. oh wow, you're actually really quite fucking pathetic. Your physique is actually, and I'm not being judgmental. Like your physique is subpar. Like I'm looking at your body, and you're sounding like a professional bodybuilder who is in the top 5. Like you're saying the same words, doing the same
Yeah,
training. But you shouldn't
echo
be.
chamber.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be because you shouldn't be saying the same things
You're not.
because you're
Yeah.
not the same. I don't know. I don't know. Is that right to
I've
say?
got follow. No, no, it's fair because I've got follow ups. I agree. I agree with that. Because again, locally around here, you see a lot of people with no muscle, which is fine. But so my problem, actively actively promoting, you know how to grow a physique and build
Yeah.
a
This.
really,
This. This is this. Yeah.
and then pursuing it yourself,
Yeah.
but not having it.
Yes.
It's
This
different.
is. This is what I
You know,
mean.
people like Chris Aceto who
Yeah.
can sit there and say what he wants because he's proven he can do it. He doesn't need to look like Ronnie Coleman. Whereas
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're if I come to you and I was like, Matt, I want you to make me look like a better bodybuilder, and you're actively trying to, but you've got a pot belly and
Yeah.
you've got muscle, I'm going, well,
Yeah.
you're trying to do it though. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and that's reasonable because a lot of
Um.
people do that because you've got the echo chamber now though, down from the big pro names on YouTube, if you like, to the big coach names, and it just filters down. We've got a dude, I don't know his name, I'm not allowed to say it to be a dick. There's a dude locally around here, and he puts out those really aggressive, you know, where they try and speak like Cuba, and they film themselves in the gym, and they're trying to
Right.
speak with the kind of aggression of Cuba.
Ugh,
He's like,
man.
no, this is how you grow your arms. Yeah, you got to do this. And I'm watching, and I'm like, bro, my cock's got more girth than your arm right now. What's that? And yeah, that's a problem, I think, because
Yeah,
it's like,
right there. It's kind of like you're saying it, but you can't actually. You're not showing it.
yeah,
Like actions speak louder than words. So it's
yeah.
like, I,
But
um,
only
I,
if you're
I
pursuing it,
think,
though.
yeah, this is the thing. If, and I know my advice is heard, and what I say online is heard, and my posts are heard, because I can actually follow it up with like a thick fucking physique. Like I'm actually like pushing my 3XL t-shirts, and I'm just standing there. And people know that. I don't need to flaunt it. I don't need to wear little stringer vests. I'm thick under a t-shirt and I'm giving this advice. People know that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, that's one. What's another one? Gyms that care more about their decor and their artwork and the color of their lights because they can change the color of their lights than the equipment and the overall community feel of gyms.
well, just a community. Yeah, that's a problem.
So like so there's a gym in Solihull in Birmingham called Dino's.
I've been there a few times.
Cool, cool. And you walk in, you go, okay, sick. This is a gym. And everyone walking in, woman, girl, have never been in the gym. They'll feel intimidated, but they'll walk in, they'll go, this is a gym. This is like they'll probably use words of like old school.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then if they walk into a gym group or they walk into a whatever, these snazzy chain gyms, it's just very clinical, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, obviously, there's a branding for it, and if people like it, they're like, but yeah, no, the atmosphere is a lot better in a Dino's or an Ironman than it is a pure or gym group, I suppose,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, no, that's fair.
What about
Like,
you?
I might upset you,
Why?
right?
People who use cameras in the gym.
No, I hate
Oh,
tripod. It's a
but
there's
yeah,
there's so right. Okay.
I've done a tripod video.
Yeah. Right. You have because I shared it because
Oh,
people misunderstand me sometimes.
oh, okay.
You or anyone that you don't start like you start at the start, and I totally respect if you go, you know what, I want to make content, have at it, do
Oh,
whatever you.
I hear what you mean. Yeah.
Don't be a selfish little
Oh,
prick.
yeah. This happened yesterday. So I'll hold my thought. You continue. Go on.
No, no, I've got an example.
Yeah, and I have of yesterday. Really good one.
Cool. So there's a few people that train at the gym where I'm at, and they film their stuff, and camera's never really in the way. They've got a tripod. I might sit there and go, why do you film every set every week all the time? Like, you're not watching them all back. Anyway, but you do you. Don't care. Doesn't bother me that much. There was this little dude that came in and he wasn't jacked. And selfishly, I do sit there and go, who's watching your content, mate? Who's watching that lift? Because back when I started, the only lifts you saw on the internet were the cool ones. They weren't just like, I still don't feel good putting my lifts in ignore my recovery lifts. Back when I was strong and big, I lifted cool weights, but I still was like, what's fuck all? Like, who wants to see it? It's not that cool. Dude, this guy was filming and he set up his camera right in the way of the machine that I was using. So I was having to step around it to load my plates. And he saw me stepping around it and obviously didn't want me to knock it. So he moved it, but he moved it while I was loading the plates to right behind me. So as I bent down to pick up another plate and stood back up, I knocked it. I like nearly dropped the plates. Oh shit, what have I knocked? And I went, for fuck's sake! And I slammed it. And I looked at him and I was like, if I say anything, I'm going to be the dick. Like, I'll look like the dick. So I just kind of growled at myself and carried on with my set. And it just remained there. And then someone walked through it and he went, and I'm like, you're filming in the middle of the gym, you fucking sausage. If you really want it private, pay. Go somewhere and pay. Pay. I think gym owners should charge if people want to make content, which they'll make money off. Gym owners should take it.
I think that's a really cool idea, actually. That's a really cool idea.
Obviously, I run a gym, but it's not that kind of gym. If I run that kind of gym, I would charge people. I'd say if you want to,
of course you can. 50 quid a month,
mate. Absolutely, because you're paying to use the gym. You're not paying to use the gym for money. PTs have to pay. PTs pay rent. So why aren't you paying rent if you're using it as your studio every week? You know what I mean? I think it is. Business gym owners are missing a beat with it. Actually, start charging if people film in your gym.
Yeah, but I'll be supplying. I've already got the idea. I'll be supplying.
The issue with that. Let me just throw this out there though. The issue with that is how do you differentiate content or not? Because someone might just be filming their set and you can't be charging that. You need to know that they're an influencer.
Trust me, that your idea would have been thought already.
Yeah,
there's a reason why it's not out yet. There's someone may have tried it and it's just not worked, or
it'll be hard to define it.
What was I saying? I was talking about.
You were going to throw an example of tripods
yesterday, recording. Now you would have maybe laughed, or actually, if you didn't know me yesterday and you were watching me in the gym, I wonder what you would have thought. I think you would have judged me in a way of, get the fuck out now, because I can tell you, I was probably recording in 7-8 different spots in the gym.
Yeah.
For the same video. So I have to do that though, and I can explain why. The fucking gym's music is so loud, and it's terrible music. So I have to literally have a look at the lighting, see, okay, that will work, that great. Okay, no one's over there, I'm not in the way of them. I'll ping over there, fuck, too loud, shit song. Right, I'll go over there with the light, someone's in the way. So you know what I mean? So I'm like dotting all around. And I'm at one point where I was doing it one little scene thing. And a lady came up to me, she was like, I'm sorry, am I in the way? And I get that a lot. And I reckon that comes across in that way because I'm actually quite friendly in the way I do use that tripod and my camera. I run around people and smile at them and wave and shit. I'm not like this grumpy little cunt that's like, I've got my little shit. Like you're explaining your guy. I'm actually very open with it, and people come and ask me about the camera. I've never spoken to them before. And in fact, one chap spoke to me about the camera yesterday who works opposite me in a place who make those big alien robots at like Drayton Manor that walk around, and like Alton Towers that run around like big theme parks and stuff. They're like burr, 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 and talk to you and shit. They build them right there. They're often out in the car park in the front. We just watch them in the morning like, oh, that's fucking sick. They're just testing them. And so I say to her, you're never in my way. And this is my reply to every single one. You're never in my way. You're the one working out and training. I'm the one prattling about with the camera. That is literally my script that I say every time. I literally repeat what I've just said to you every time. because I get that asked to me every time, and then no one is ever in the way because I'm fucking about. So I already know the hierarchy of where I'm at now. Before, however, I'm the most important because I'm training in the gym, so I am number one. Like everyone is training. Then the next are the ones that work kind of in the gym, really. And now I'm pissing about working with a camera and fucking about and not actually training. So
And then, no, man, that's just fair though. But it's that awareness, isn't it? Having the awareness of it and knowing.
I think it's empathy and just actually caring and giving a shit.
And that's probably the biggest stick of all. It's just the ego that comes with
Yeah,
muscle.
I think so.
Yeah, bless them. Cool. And then the last question was a shit one, but it was just superpowers.
Go on.
Had one, only one. I want to know what it is, and I really hope it's not some boring one that everyone always says. It might be, and it's not boring necessarily.
No, people always give the fly or the invisible or strength, don't they? Mine is actually one that I never really hear, and it's time. I'd love
Mm,
to be able to manipulate time, whether I have a time turner from Harry Potter or whether I have the superpower from what's his name from Heroes. Oh, his name was Hiro, like Hero, Hiro, and
yes.
he can manipulate time. So pause, fast forward, rewind, slow mo, time. I think that's probably the most powerful one.
That's cool.
But
Yeah.
then you're not indestructible, are you? So you could get shot and then you're fucked. But
It's practical. It's practical. Like you can get more done if you're a busy person as well. You can get so much done in like a minute, which should be
yeah,
sick. Yeah. Hmm.
what would yours be? It used to be manipulate fire because when I watched X-Men, I used to love that guy who could like manipulate fire, like the ice guy
Fucking yeah, yeah. Ah, mate, like
or Johnny Blaze.
yeah, Human Torch,
Yeah,
flame.
man. Like I think that's sexy as fuck. I think that's so cool. But then I
Cool, innit?
thought, nah, time would be mint.
Time's like a grown up decision, I
I
think.
suppose. I think.
But it's a cool one. It's a cool one. Like yeah, teleporting is sick, innit? It's a boring one
That
to say.
that's
Teleporting would be sick just to get around.
yeah, that's
Or
really good.
you know what? Partially, I would like to read minds, but also not. It would hurt my feelings, but time links with seeing the future. I think if you could see the future, I'd be the richest man alive because you just better get your like trade so well.
Mm,
Stock market be a bitch. So if you're going for a selfish, not change the world, but change your bank account, it'd be see the future.
yeah.
But then that's pretty lame for anything
But
else.
you could pick ultimate strength and then you're set for life. You could pick ultimate speed, then you're set for life.
Move shit with your mind.
You could fly, then you're set for life. It depends on what you want to do with it. You could
What,
come
right?
out to the
So
world. You could come out to the world and go, I can fly,
true.
and you
But
are
do you
the
reckon,
billion trillionaire. Then
yeah, yeah, that's true. But flying's like, is it hard? Like, is it everything you ever watch? Like, Superman just flies. If you're a normal human that's made to fly, how fast do you fly? And do you fly as fast as you run? Because that's going to be shit. I mean, it's cool, but it's going to wear off. The novelty of flying as fast as you run, it get really boring. I'm going to
hang
fly.
on. Flying as fast as you want is basically
No,
teleporting.
it's run as fast as you run. That's what I'm asking.
Oh,
Like, how much effort is there if you fly? Is it just I can fly because like
yeah,
strength, lifting
yeah.
weight
Fly, you
takes
fly.
time.
You can just
So
fly.
if I'm,
It's
yeah, but
effortless.
how fast do I fly though? Because it's going to be really fucking boring and
You can
cold.
fly. You can fly that fast. You can fast forward time by spinning the Earth like Superman, or
Oh, yes.
rewind to save his
No,
girlfriend.
that's two powers. That's two powers. That's speed and flight. You're cheating the system now.
You can fly as fast as the fastest aeroplane currently in the world, and every time we get a faster plane, you get up to that speed. There you go.
That'd be all right. But I'd still rather teleport. Just be there.
Yeah,
Did
at that point, mate, it's like fuck that.
you watch that Jumper? Was that what it's called? With
Jumper
Anakin.
is, and I was gonna talk about that movie. Jumper's a
I used to
very good
fucking love
film.
it. I remember watching that when I was like, what, 12, 13, and being
Yeah,
like,
man.
that's so cool.
I used to watch
It's
that all the time.
Yeah, man, that was actually. I don't know if I've not watched it for years, so it might not hold up now. But I used to think it was sick, like the way they actually did the kind of fight scenes and
It's a
stuff,
good.
and the
It's a
television.
good. It's a good one.
It was cool.
Um, what was that movie with? Oh, I'm going to butcher it now. I can't even name all the actors or anything. Forget that, dude. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you
It's
very
good, man.
much for today.
No worries.
What have you got planned for the rest of the day today?
Uh,
I've already told the viewers what I'm doing.
yeah, no, I caught the back end a bit. I've got to train tits and shoulders, and then I've got to do a bit of video editing. I've got to pack for holiday, and something else. It's all written down. I don't remember. Uh, Grab her ass at some point, maybe give it a jiggle, make me feel good.
What does she
And
do?
that'll be it.
What does she do for work?
She works for Sykes Cottages.
What
She
the
deals.
hell is that?
It's like holiday homes. She deals with places by you. Basically, holiday homes in the UK. She's in charge of looking after people that bring on holiday homes to their business, and
Yeah,
she
yeah.
basically make sure all the legal stuff's covered, make sure that it's shit like that. She's looking to move though. She's not a fan of it anymore.
There is a job for everything, bruv. It's
Bro,
crazy. Like
I
literally everything.
yeah, it's mad. It's mad.
There's that many humans, mate. You know,
Like,
I saw a post today. Oh, we'll cut it in a minute. Saw a post the other day, everybody. Not the other day, today. If you stacked everybody, 8 billion people that are in the world now, 8 billion, and stacked them side by side, you could fill Los Angeles. That's it. And we're told that we've got not much space in the world. Like we're losing space. It's
shit.
it's a bit overpopulated. Are you sure we're overpopulated? I know that we're all kind of need a bit of room to breathe. We can't actually stand all next to each other. But if we could stand everybody in the entire world,
Next
is
week.
Is LA a state? Is
No,
California a
California's
state? LA is just a city.
yeah.
Wow, the entire world in a city.
Bro, is that real?
Yeah,
That's absurd. If that like that's
yeah. So 8 billion people you can stand side by side in LA, which is a city, and we're told that we're overpopulating the world.
we're going deep. I want to go
Aren't
deep.
we? I love a conspiracy. Maybe we could
Oh,
leave that for next time.
don't do that because we're never going to stop recording. I love
No,
conspiracies.
I know they're fantastic, aren't they? Right, everybody. Thank you very much for listening to another episode of When Nerds Do Fitness. Luke, would you like to say a few words?
No, that's it. Pretty much. Go check out Not Your Kind Apparel. Go buy some t-shirts.
Ta-ra, everybody. Bye.